Hi everybody, welcome back to your channel. Karibu, welcome, Akwaba. We're here today to talk about the pursuit of slappiness. And by that I mean the whole debacle that went between Will Smith, Chris Rock at the Oscars. So I was drinking water and minding my own business yesterday morning, and I happened to read the news like I do every morning, BBC News, on my phone. So there we go, here I am scrolling on the streets of BBC News, and I see this article like, whoa. When I saw it, it didn't hit me. I thought, yeah, this is part of the ceremony scenario. This is part of the award ceremony. This can be real. And then I read a few more articles. And I was like, okay, let me go see the videos. So I went and I watched different kind of videos, the censored, the uncensored, all kind. So the penny dropped for me when I saw Chris Rock's reaction when he got hit, after he got hit, and Will Smith's reactions once he went back to his seat and when he was swearing those words, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, you know. That's when I said, okay, this shit is real. I don't really, disclaimer, I don't really swear on this channel. I'm trying to keep it unsweary, non-sweary. But look, this story is just too much for me not to. So today, we're gonna take a break and we're going to swear. Today is the swear day. It's open. So the shit hit the fan, right? The shit hit the global fan. I mean, you name it. The whole world has heard it instantaneously. Like all at the same time, we got it. From Timbuktu to Lagos to Brazzaville to London to Abidjan to Wuhan to Guangzhou to Queensland to Adelaide. I mean, the story didn't break the internet. It did more than that. It broke the whole world. The story was so big, we didn't hear about the rest of the winners at the Oscars, the people that performed, the nominees. I mean, the whole ceremony just went haywire. We didn't hear about like the war Ukraine and Russia took a pause. We don't know what's going on over there anymore. We just don't care. We're not even talking about the C19, the Omicron or Mario. I mean, we forgot about all of this because Will Smith slap has taken all of our undivided attention. If that's not some foolishness, I don't know what is. But I guess it affects us differently. When I say us, I mean black people. Because you have to think, this is the first Oscars that was really organized, produced, conducted by black people. Will Packer, right? He led the show. So to have this on that night, it's a big loss for us. It really stained black excellence, to be honest. If that was any other night, I wouldn't have been so upset with it, so disappointed with it. But because it was on that night, so black excellence at the Oscar is going to be remembered by the pursuit of slappiness, thanks to Will Smith. You know? Now, people are saying there have been a lot of debates on this. Was he wrong? Was he right? Should he lose his award or not? Because he did win after that. After the slap, he did win Best Actor for King Richard. That even put a stain on that movie. And I feel sorry for the Williams sisters because I love them dearly. But it's just a shame that the movie of their father that was supposed to honor them is going to be attached to Will's foolery, entanglement, pursuit of slappiness. All of this combined in one hot mess. And on top of that, it just does not affect him, his family, but it also affects people, black people that work there at the Oscar that day. So it's going to affect the future of those people. Like, it's going even to affect the way business is going to be conducted in Hollywood, in black Hollywood, for black people. I mean, the whole thing, even us regular people, is going to affect us because by doing this, it reinforced certain stereotypes for black people. we already have the stereotype of black woman, the angry black woman. Now there's going to be the angry black man. And there's going to be, it reinforces the stereotype of black people can act right in certain places, that we too hood for certain places. So there you go. I even saw somebody that talked about the Oscar was too black. I wouldn't want this hashtag to be trending on Twitter, but if it does, it'd be a real shame, because for many years, the hashtag that has been trending on Twitter was the Oscars was too white. And now we got a chance to change things. Not like I care about the Oscars, to be honest, because it's always been a white ceremony for several years, and then it's a bit too late to make it fair. That's just my opinion. But it's still business at the end of the day for these actors and actresses in Hollywood. So, and it's like Will Smith spoiled it for everybody. So, the way the whole thing went down, we've all seen the video. I think Chris Rock made a joke, like he jokes about everybody else. He's a comedian. So, I mean, you have to be able to take the joke. And if you within that industry, you have to have that thick skin. And to be fair, what he said wasn't the worst that has been said about Will Smith and his wife. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we had Laverne Cox on the red carpet that mentioned the entanglement. I mean, they laughed about it. It was a crisp laugh, an embarrassed laugh. But they didn't slap Laverne Cox in the face. I mean, they just took it and then they walked away. And there was another interview that Will gave about his book to some white lady. I forgot her name. But she did mention the entanglement as well. But he didn't slap her in the face. I mean, he controlled his hand, he took it, and then he walked off. You can't just go around slapping people in the face because you're upset or you're angry, you don't like what you hear. And on top of that, they're comedians. So you just can't do it. It's just unacceptable. You know, especially if you've been in the business for such a long period of time. You should be able to understand how to move. And so far, he understood it. This is not the place nor the time. So you should be able to move accordingly. If he wanted to settle this behind the scenes, he could have done so. Like, you know, they're friends. Give him a call and tell him, yo, bro, yo, nigga, what you did is not right. This and that. And that. You know, just don't do it for the whole world to see live and then embarrass all of us in the process. It's just wrong. So Chris Rock made a joke about Jada, saying that he loves her, she's waiting for her for G.I. Jane 2. Now, this is where the whole shit went haywire. Tell me if I'm mistaken, but for me it's like a compliment, because I watched that movie G.I. Jane with Demi Moore. Very good movie. And Demi Moore was outstanding. Yeah, she shaved her hair. Her hair was short. She wasn't bald, but she did things like it was an empowerment movie for women. Because I believe, if my memory serves me right, she was the only woman in the army, and then they put her through a lot more things that men in the army go through, and then she shone through it all. So I would have taken it as a compliment, like, yeah, and I would have even said, like, yeah, I'll be producing it. I'll give you a part in it, Chris Rock. You know, come and cast, I'll pay you. Something like that, you know, keep it light and keep it pushing. But I guess she was in a feeling, because they're saying she'd be suffering from alopecia. That's why she shaved her head. Personally, I didn't know that she was, I don't follow her like that. I just thought she was just trying a new look. People shave their head nowadays because they want to try new things, new different things, you know, variety. And Jada Pinkett Smith has always had short hair anyway. So I didn't think much of it. I just thought it's a thing she's doing with her daughter, with Willow. But okay, given she had alopecia, but the whole world didn't know she had alopecia. We don't follow Lily like that. Hello? We got lives to live too. So we don't know every single thing about your life. Even though they made every single thing public about the relationship, which we do not want. I think that's where the downfall of the relationship started. Of the image, the brand, is starting. Some things you have to keep private. Don't matter who you are. Because once you put it out there, well, you cannot blame comedians to use it for materials. You cannot blame people if they talk about it. You cannot blame people if they come to you with it. You cannot blame people if they like make a joke about it, because it becomes public knowledge, you know. And themselves, they talk about it so much. I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith has a whole show about it. Red Table Talk. Not everybody watches Red Table Talk. I can't take it. It's a bit too much for me. But I knew about it when the debacle happened between Jordan Smith and Kylie Jenner. That's when I knew about the show, because I knew she went on the show and then it was very, very promoted, publicized and all that. That's when I found out about the show. So when we watched the video, first of all, shout out to Lupita Nyong'o's face. I mean, Lupita Nyong'o, she should have gotten the Oscars of best memes, best facial expressions, because she was just there like, her face was saying everything. A face with 1,000 expressions, literally without saying a word. She's the best. Like, she should do one of those movies where you don't need to speak, but we got you, we understand you, like Charlie Chaplin used to do back in the day. Because Lupita Nyong'o, she handled the business. She was like, I don't want part of this shit. This is a hot mess. Like, when Will Smith was yelling those words, she was like, nigga, did you just say this? Yes, nigga, he said. But her face was everything. Somebody make a memes out of Lupita Nyong'o's face, because I won't use those. I need those on my phone, because they were just everything, you know. So once Chris Rock made the joke, he carried on. He think much of it. Mind you, before that, he roasted Denzel. He roasted Joaquin, what's his name, and his wife Penelope Cruz. Though the joke wasn't so personal, but it was still a roast. And Chris Rock is not the worst roast comedian I've seen on the Oscars. I mean, we had Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais was up here. The way he roasted everybody, and he don't look at races. He roasted white people the same way he roasted black people. He roasted everybody. If you got some shit going on that day, he talked about it. Did you see anybody going to the stage and slap him in the face? No. Did you even see anybody in the audience getting upset? No. I mean, they all laughed about it. Some of the laughs were unpleasant. Some of the laughs were nervous. But they laughed about it, and that was it. So when he made that joke, everybody was laughing in the room. It wasn't a loud laugh. It wasn't a comfortable laugh. But they were all laughing, including Will Smith, because they put the camera on his face and he was laughing. Now, once we saw Jada Pinkett Smith's face, she wasn't very happy. She rolled her eyes to the ceiling, of course, and it's her right to be upset, because she thought Chris Rock was making reference to alopecia, the reason why she was bald. But come to find out later, he didn't know about the alopecia either. So he looks like, to me, this was a misunderstanding of how the joke was taken. That's all it came down to. And then you put in there some ego and some emasculation, and then the whole thing just spread like wildfire. You know? So Will Smith was laughing at first. And then the camera went back on to Chris Rock. So when they went back onto Chris Rock. And that's when he started to say, uh-oh, he's coming. So now Will Smith is walking up to him, right? So between that time where we don't know what really happened, where the camera was on Chris Rock, what was said between him and Jada, if anything was said at all, what was their reaction, what was the gaze, what was the body language, the exchange, how did he go from he to I don't know. He decided to walk casually on the stage. You can see Chris Rock was shocked. He was like, nigga, what is it that you're doing? Why are you coming up here? This is not part of the script. You can tell on his face that's what he was thinking. He thought maybe when Will Smith even came closer, he kind of leaned. If you pay attention, he leaned like this. I think he wanted to tell him something to his ear, like, what are you doing here? But he didn't get that chance. Will Smith walked up there like he was in a Wild Wild West movie. His hip a little bit tucked, and he had, I mean, the whole thing was like, I was thinking, is he playing a character right now? He just gave me a vibe like he was still in acting mode. He walked up there and then slap him in the face. Like, and that slap was a resounding global slap. Like, we heard it like in the mic was ta ta. Like, oh shit. He slapped him. Shit. And from that point on, you know what happened. Kudos to Chris Rock, man. Because he kept his calm. He didn't try to fight him. He kept the show going. Carried on his monologue like nothing happened. Like, he's a good Christian. He acted like Jesus. Like, you know when they slapped Jesus on the left cheek and he gave his right cheek? Where Chris Rock was the embodiment of Jesus at that time. Because he just took it and carried on. And Will Smith walk off with all his pride and his ego satisfied back onto his seat like, yeah, nigga, now what? And he went back to his seat and doubled up. Like, keep my mom's name out of your fucking mouth. That's what he said. And he said it twice. Younger was like, shit, nigga, please, not here. But he did. I mean, the whole thing. When I was watching it, I didn't know what to think. I was like, this real? Like, really? We're doing this at the Oscars on Black Excellence Night. I don't know. So, that happened. Carried on the show. Of course, Will Packer tried to diffuse the situation. They went straight on to commercial. They tried to blank what he was saying. But because it's global, it's worldwide, in some countries, it went uncensored. Like Japan, we heard it. And then spread like wildfire on social media, YouTube, everywhere. Then we knew exactly what he was saying. Plus, you don't even need that. If you could read, if you can do lip reading, you can clearly see what Will Smith was saying. So, and then he wanted to leave. Will Smith wanted to leave. Everybody now cuddled him like he was a kid. He was a hurt baby, convincing him to stay. I mean, Denzel Washington went over there. Tyler Perry went over there, trying to convince him to stay. I mean, his publicist, everybody. And they come to find out, a few hours later, after he got his speech and he apologized to the Academy, to everybody except from Chris Rock, he went on to celebrate at the after party. And he was singing Get It Jiggy With It to his own song. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. So which one is real here? Which one is fake? I have no clue. And he was crying up there. And people were saying, well, Jada didn't come to comfort him. I mean, I think at this point, I think Jada don't give a fuck. I think Jada was just like, whatever. I don't know. Something very strange about the marriage. Something very strange about the relationship. Because I know, if that was my husband, he getting mad, like I know it's about to pop off, I would be like, hey, baby, leave this. I need to calm him down so he doesn't end up in jail or dead. Because you put your hands on somebody, you don't know what that other person is going to do. We're not talking reality TV here. We're not talking TV. We're talking real life. You know that person's got a gun, a knife. You don't know what they're going to do to you. So if you put your hands on somebody, it's open season. They can do anything they want. You know, as a wife, you need to calm your husband down so you don't end up in jail. Now, there are some different circumstances to that. That only pertains to black people. But I'm going to leave this one alone. You know. And then your husband is up there crying. Though I didn't think the crying was genuine. You see, if Will acted like it was about that life, like he was a gangster, like he don't take no shit from anybody, like he'll pop you in the face, suck you in the face and all that. But you see, we can see people, real gangster, we are really, really about that life. They just don't care. And if he was really about that life when he went on to make his speech, he wouldn't have apologized. He wouldn't have backtracked. He would have been like, yeah, I did this, so what? That's my opinion. I stand on it. This is my truth. Like, he would have doubled down like people do. But the fact that he went up there and he started to cry and boo hoo hoo and key and I just thought, now this is wrong. And you knew the kind of nigga to do this to. Because if that was someone else other than Chris Rock, someone who fights, I don't know, someone who's in the street, like we take the street life seriously. I don't know, maybe DLU. Who else fights? What's his name? Jason Derulo. Or Kanye West. He likes fighting people. I mean, someone, 50 Cent. If you put your hands on somebody who's about that life and they put their hands back on you, all bets are off. They would have been fighting, scrapping on the floor. This shit would have turned into like the real husbands of Hollywood or the real housewives of Atlanta. I mean, that's all that was left to do. Sad bad. This would have made even greater TV. But on serious note, not on Black Excellence Night. That was actually very embarrassing for us. Embarrassing for every single black actor that has had to work hard in Hollywood to make a name, a reputation for themselves. Like, he just ruined it in a couple of seconds for his own ego. That's the problem with us black people. Before you do something, especially when you're in a position of power like Will Smith, you need to think of how your action are going to impact other people, not just you. Because you've been put in that position, so you have bigger and greater responsibilities. And sadly, I think he snapped and he just wanted to let the steam off at that moment. But wrong place, wrong time, brother. Wrong place, wrong time, bro. And Chris Rock was just the wrong person at the right time. He took the smoke for Will Smith frustration for the last 2 years. Talk about entanglement, red table talk, his emasculations and August Asina and the cheating, the allegation, all these issues they've been having throughout the marriage, the jokes that people make about them. And I think it got to him, not to mention the issues that he's been having. He talked about it in his book. I didn't read his book, but I just caught the big lines. Like the way he feel like he couldn't protect his mother, and also he couldn't protect the woman in his family, the woman in his life, like Jada and his daughter. So I think all this got to him and he just couldn't take it and was like, shit. And he snapped. Like, you snap for a few seconds. And the damage is going to last you for a few months, maybe a few years. And the damages are global. And the damages are like a ripple domino effect. Especially for black people. So, was he wrong to do it? Yes, he was wrong. If he was for the right reason, I could have tried to defend him, but it's just for the wrong reason. And it was the wrong time, the wrong place. You have to act, you have to know how to act in certain places. You have to act accordingly. You can't just be saying, I'm real, I'm rich, I'm real everywhere. No, you can't. Because the talks that you have in your house at your kitchen table, it's not the same talk you're going to have out there with everybody. We've seen it, how many times we've seen it with like judges that have been done with racism. People that even just sang a rap. White people that be singing a rap with the word nigga, 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 nigga in it. And the minute it leaks on social media and out there, you can't do that. You have to do better. You do that in the comfort of your house, nobody sees you. It's unacceptable, but nobody sees you. Nobody knows. The minute that people know and see, it's a problem. You know? So yeah, I think he should go get help if he really has some mental issues, or if he's feeling that pressure to the point where he's about to snap. He should get help, and he should maybe take a break a little bit, take care of his mental health, of himself before he comes back. I even think that his brand has been going down since this entanglement and since this red table talk. Both of them, if they're just not happy in a marriage, they don't look very happy to me in a marriage. And I think Jada said it. She's been very vocal about it more than Will. So what's up with the divorce? Just get a divorce and both of you go live your life. You know, it's much better. Because at this rate, I think if they carry on, his brand is going to suffer. And if this is something that he's worked for his whole life, is it worth it? I don't think so. So I'm guessing in the house they have a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to think about, to discuss, but I would like to be a fly to see what's going on in there, but you know what to do. It was a big loss for us, but it was also a big win because Will Packer did a fantastic job. The other winners have been overshadowed by the pursuit of slappiness, but we heard Samuel L. Jackson won his first Oscar. Not like he needed it because he's a bona fide, brilliant actor anyway. But it's business, so got one now. And Quest for Love 112. I don't even know who performed, didn't perform. I heard Beyonce was there. I didn't see anything because that slap took over everything. That slap even surpassed Kim K breaking the internet. That slap even dismissed Omicron. It dismissed C-19. It dismissed the war in Ukraine versus Russia. This is how big the whole thing is. Anyway, we heard lately that he did apologize to, he did make a statement to apologize to Chris Rock on his social media. I also hope that he will call him and apologize to him personally, if they're friends, to kind of smooth things over. But I don't think the apology was genuine because I'm sure he's heard what everybody's been saying. He should apologize, I'm pretty sure even the Academy called him and asked him to apologize. Maybe they threatened to take away his award, the one he won that night. People have been having discussion about it. Should they take away his award? I don't think they should take away his award. That's got nothing to do with the movie that he was part of. That's nothing to do with his acting. He's a gifted actor. He's very good at what he does. So he deserved it. So they should leave his award. Maybe they should ban him from further ceremonies, or I don't know, work some kind of punishment, some consequences, but he's gonna have to bear it for a minute. He's lucky that he's not going to jail. He's not being taken to court for assault, physical assault. I mean, if that was a regular smuggler, somebody, they'll be in jail. They'll be locked up, probably today out in bail, and then they'll be going to trial. But it's Will Smith, so I mean, yeah, the whole thing was just a mess. And he hasn't really talked about it yet. They're saying he's going to talk about it on the Red Table Talk. Why? I don't know. I hope Chris Rock doesn't go on that Red Table Talk. They're saying he's got a tour coming up with Kevin Hart. I'm thinking he's going to talk about it there, or he's going to use it as his material. So we see what happens. They haven't been to the Oscar. I think Jada and Will Smith, they boycotted the Oscars a while ago. And now that they just came back, it's like they're giving more reason for them to be boycotted again. For different reasons, but it's just the attitude is just not right. And people talk about, yeah, he did that to protect his wife because black women need to be protected. No, that's just an excuse to run a false narrative. He did that because he felt emasculated and he needed to show people that he still had his ego as a man and that he was still proud. And he wanted to show people that I'm about that life. Like, don't mess with me and stop talking about me and stop making fun of me and my family. I think that's what it was. But he could have done this in so many different ways. So many different ways, right? Sadly. So we're going to see how this is going to unfold. What will happen at the back of that? What kind of sanction is he going to get? I hope they're appropriate. And then we keep an eye on if he really is going to go on that Red Table Talk, what will happen. And keep an eye on Chris Rock as well. Go check on Chris Rock. Is he okay? Anybody checked on him? Like Eric Bennett asked. Anybody? Even the seat filler? Because everybody concerned about Will Smith. Nobody cares about Chris Rock. Go check on your boy Chris Rock. Let us know how he's doing. How is the chick? Is he been to the doctors yet? And this is not funny, but the whole thing was just crazy. It was crazy. It was cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. Alright? Okay, so that's me for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, we had a good laugh about it. So yeah, I hope you have a fabulous rest of the day. I plan on doing the same. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and also hit the bell. Okay? Let's continue talking about it in the comment section. Thank you. Bye.